Yo, 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 yo. We are live. Oh my gosh. All right. Thank you very much for joining us, my people. Uh so I want to take it slow. Usually, here's the thing, when I start going live, I envisioned this is what I would do. Connect with the people. I wanted to start building a community again. When I came back into the sport of arm wrestling, I saw that there was a huge fracturing in uh in arm wrestling, like because of so many social medias. And it's like, man, there needed to be something to bring it all together, slow it down, make it feel more familial. And so that was my goals when I started going live. I wanted to connect with the peeps. So that's what I'm doing. Ever since I've been going live, it's always been me and somebody else. You miss all the chats. It's hard to slow it down. So right now, I don't care about views. I just I want people who want to be here, who want to know what's going on with arm wrestling, who care about growing the sport of arm wrestling, who care about what's going on with ARMTV, who cares about helping me see my vision through. Uh, I don't have typically I don't have a huge ego, but I feel that I have I know the path to exploding the sport of arm wrestling. It's already happening. I get that. Other people are doing it, but I feel like I have a path that I believe would work, that I want to try, that I'm passionate about. And so I'm excited to experiment, to do whatever it takes to accomplish that goal. And having people on, if we're going on a road trip, let's say, for instance, you say, hey, Gary, I need you to go on a long ass road trip. For instance, oh, this is a perfect segue, a perfect connection. So Travis Bajan dropped on me these arm wrestling Michael Todd on Friday night, and it was $800 to change the plane ticket. One, even if it wasn't $800 to change the plane ticket, telling my wife that I'm going to leave for another third. Listen, if you're going to leave for 3 days, that's like world championships type scheduling. Like when I came back into the sport of arm wrestling, I told my wife, listen, I'm not going to travel as much, travel a little bit, but it'll be quickies, in and out. I got a baby, man. And so like even if the plane ticket wasn't astronomical, my wife works Friday and she has the baby. So it's a tough sell to go to the missus and be like, yo, Michael Todd and Travis Bajan are gripping up Friday night, which you are. Michael Todd and Travis Bajan, you are a-holes for not gripping up Saturday night. It makes no sense why you're doing it Friday night. One, you are already hosting a tournament on Sunday. Okay. Now you're asking people to add an extra day in travel for guys that are driving 6 hours. You're asking them to do another night of hotel. I mean, like, come on. The Weirdo Camera Guy event is on Saturday. You should be arm wrestling. Guess what? On Saturday, you assholes. Anyways, I'm not going to pay 800. Well, anyways, I thought about it for a second. I checked how far it was to drive to Texas, 14 hours. And I'm like, am I going to tell my wife I'm going to leave Thursday night, drive 14 hours? I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I want to watch this match, but I can't do it. But the point is, what I was getting back to with this whole community is, if I'm going to drive with 14 hours, would you rather drive by yourself, or would you rather have a car full of homies? And so right now, this mission to explode arm wrestling is a road trip across country. It's long, it's tiring. No one wants to drive that far. It sucks ass. But if your peeps are in the car with you, you know, I know there's always some cool stories that come out of it. And so you in the chat, You are in the ARMTV road trip. You're in the car, and like all these people about about freaking subs, views at the moment, dude. Subs and views taking too long. I need gas money. I know where I'm going. I know how much the gas costs to get there. So we put our Patreon in the link. I need fucking gas money. So sign up for the Patreon and get in the car and let's go for a road trip. Except it can't be this weekend because I got to watch the baby Friday day. Okay. So let's get to some of these chats here. Roger learning, dude. Roger, you're coming to Wax Hatch. That's freaking awesome, dude. Yeah, listen, dude. I am not an amazing arm wrestler, so I have no reason not to arm wrestle 50 million people. It's like I don't care, you know. I want to grip up with as many hands as possible. Plus, the thing is, why I became a good arm wrestler in the beginning is because I did arm wrestle a lot. If you go back, if you're excuse me, if you're following my journey or you followed my videos and you saw in the early days that dude, I couldn't arm wrestle. It was horrible. And I'll put money that I arm wrestled. If you take out the top pros, okay, I don't know about top pro. I'm not saying I arm wrestled more than John Brzenk from 2004 to let's say 2009, but I arm wrestled a lot. I bet I arm wrestled more than a lot of people. I never trained. I never lifted any weights. I just arm wrestled. I just went to events and I arm wrestled. It was a 100% for fun. And the funny thing happens is I just started to get a little better and a little better. And it was like, oh shit. Like if you arm wrestle a lot, you actually just can improve. So back to his question. Are we going to grip up? Anyone out there who would like to become a decent arm wrestler, like let's say you have no visions of becoming an elite arm wrestler, you would just like to arm wrestle and be pretty good at it. You should be arm wrestling a lot. Everyone, anytime, anywhere. You don't even need to have to lift weights. You just arm wrestle everybody. Go to events, go to practice, just keep arm wrestling. And you will just start to develop. I feel like you remember the Matrix? The Matrix, when he starts to really see that he can see like when the guy's shooting the bullets at him, and it's like first he's like all freaked out, but then he realized, oh shit, I have powers, and everything becomes slowed down. And it's like, whew. When you just start to arm wrestle a lot, that's what arm wrestling will become to. You'll just start to naturally like, oh, I get it. It all just kind of makes sense. Like you can read a foreign language. Hermes Desperini, what is the fastest mile you think you could run if you had 100 grand on the line and 6 months to train? Well, in the Marine Corps, my boot camp time was for 3 miles was 18 minutes and 11 seconds. So I was averaging a 6 minute mile. And boot camp is 3 months. And I was one of those guys that when I signed up and I went to the recruiter and I had 6 months before I went to boot camp, and they said, hey, you should start training now. I was one of those guys that said, okay, I'll start running. Well, I started running about 2 weeks before I went to boot camp. So there you go. I was probably a little bit overweight. I couldn't run anything, and I was 18 years old, and I got down to a 6 minute mile for 3 miles straight. What could I do now? I know I could walk outside the door, and I could probably get a 10-minute mile right now. So there you have it. I'll say 8 minutes. Anything, Gary? Junior Crow, was I not live yet? Are you going to take the vaccine? I'm not scared of the vaccine. I'm not rushing to get the vaccine. I suppose when someone says, hey, the vaccine's easy to get right now for people who are compromised or really worried about it, I'll let them take it. I mean, I'm really just not panicked about it either way, but I'm not one of those guys that thinks it would do something to me anyways. So I'm like, whatevs. I'll take it when the opportunity presents itself. Who do you have winning, Michael Todd or Devin Larratt? Hmm. Uh, did they figure out what the number of matches were? I can't remember that. I mean, here's the deal. When it comes to picks, I'm not an expert on technique, on calling matches. I've always said from the beginning of day one, and I kind of hold the mantra, I love to watch arm wrestling. I hate one-sided matches. I just, I mean, I love wars and I love battles. So I don't care who wins, Michael Todd or Devin Land, as long as those mother fluffers are sweating, are dying, and they give everything to do whatever it is that they're trying to accomplish. And it makes for awesome content. That's all I want to see. Win or lose, don't matter. This weekend, doing the ROTN and Waxhatchee, I don't have any favorites. I just like to see good arm wrestling. I like to see unexpected things. Um, Again, I'm a producer. I want exciting content. So to me, it matters less. Like, okay, let's use this analogy. It's not the it's not the destination that matters. It's the journey. It's like, so like for me, I don't have any. I mean, with arm wrestling, I have things I'd like to do, but it's about more enjoying the journey to get there. It's less about who wins, more about how we get there is exciting. Uh, Roger Cunningham, yo, uh, Jack Hasselhoff, get Travis on the show. Here's the deal: when I'm on with Travis and we're doing a show, it's like I have some notes. I'm I'm trying to keep. I'm too busy focused on like making sure it's just a good show right now. And then I feel like I'm trying to squeeze my message in there at different times, and I feel bad. And then because everyone loves Travis, and they're like, Gary, stop talking. So this is at 42 people. Hopefully you here because I don't know if you guys follow who out there loves movies. Okay, we all watch TV, love movies. I'm the guy that if I'm not watching arm wrestling videos, I'm watching like for instance, the Snyder cut just came out for Justice League, and I'm fascinated. Like for instance, I personally believe that film classes for the next 50 years should be doing a class on Justice League before and after. The whole what is more important, money, budgeting, like box office grosses or art, like the dynamics between doing something for cash or doing something for art. It's so fascinating. If you haven't seen it, you go watch the Justice League that was released in the movie, and it's like then you go watch the Snyder cut and you're like, oh shit, this is like what was meant to be, and this was like a murdered version of Justice League. It should be studied. Well, anyways, I watch YouTube videos on like the breakdown of movies. I'm all into the geekery of movie making. Like I love that shit. And so the 43 people here, I feel like you should be that guy who loves the geekiness of arm wrestling, not just want to discuss who's going to win, Michael Todd or Devin Larratt, but like the intricacies of trying to take a sport that, like when I found arm wrestling, so I found arm was Harold Ryan. He told me, he said, arm wrestling is the largest underground sport in the world. And I was like, what? Really? It's like, it's true. It's crazy. Anyways, for some of you guys out there may not know, but when I went to research that at that time, every single arm wrestling website was still photos, pictures. Can you imagine today going to look up arm wrestling and only seeing still pictures, like no videos? Mike West was the only one who was starting to put videos on the internet. There was he was like me filming. We connected early on. He's like, dude, I have similar visions. Then Polling John, when they launched their website, they put up the little clip of Travis Bajent at the 2003 Nationals. And it was like, as a person, you're like, holy shit, this is a cool sport. At the time, I was filming weddings, and I was like, you know, everyone enjoys a wedding, seeing people in love, but it's like, you know, it's a one-off. You just like, you're not sitting around dreaming about how you can make weddings more amazing. You know, you're enjoying the moment, kisses, like feeling the heart. But arm wrestling, you're like, the thing with arm wrestling is I saw these websites with still photos, and it's like back then the photography wasn't even amazing. We're talking mostly just bad photographs, not high resolution, not the 4K you see now with the color correction, you know, not Brad Cook level of goodness. So I looked at the website and I was like, dude, nobody's going to feel what I felt. Like I felt something magical happening. And that day I was like, yeah, there's a need for this, and everyone in the whole world needs to know about it. Like it became like clear to me, this is awesome, and I want to show other people how awesome it is. Well, anyways, all of you who are on here, you all feel the same way. Arm wrestling is awesome. Why isn't it bigger? So like, how do we get there? Like in the road trip, we're in the road trip. We're talking all night long, keep ourselves awake. Well, what about this? What about that? Anyways, that's what this is for. Oh, sign up for the Patreon. Pay for your gas, mofos. Links up top. I want to get one Patreon out of this. We're at like 9. Oh, so this is my tip jar. Right now we have $75 in there from our great Patreons. We're up to 95, so I'm adding 20 bones in there. No one's ever done this before. We're gonna grow this tip jar. We're gonna grow this tip jar into an event. It's gonna be awesome, dude. So I'm not sure what we call it, the Patreon championships or something. Patreon exclusive. This will be in the museum one day with the little, you know, when we grew from that. So we just added $95 and the date. Someone put on Reddit that I'm shameless whore just trying to take people's money. It's like, listen, dude, we need gas money, bitch. Like, you know, my wife is only going to let me fund the gas money for the whole trip for an extended period of time. And just so you know, we haven't talked about it a ton in the last few weeks. However, you know what's happening Sunday night, bitches, right there. Today was supposed to be Russian Nationals. Anyone have a link of the stream? I do not. When are you coming to Quebec? I mean, from what I hear in Canada, you guys are locked down, so not anytime soon at the moment. Okay. He's got to bang with me first. Julian, I like your spirit. I like your spirit. I got high hopes for you. Julian, Arm Wrestling Mania in the chat. He's going to assist with filming. Gary, your opinion on Travis versus Monster Michael Todd. Okay. Here's the deal. They both love money. If you throw enough money at Travis and Michael Todd, you could probably get them to do ballet Friday night. So I have no doubts that if one of the sponsors is like, I want to watch you guys arm wrestle, and they're like, well, he show me the money, that gets set up. So I understand how that happens fast. My opinion on Travis and Monster Michael Todd is I would like you to guys put this out there. It is an absolute travesty that you dumb bitches are doing it on Friday night and not Saturday night, because I don't get into the airport until 9:30, and then it's an hour away, 10:30. It's like, so as much as I want to see that and film it properly, giving you guys, no, Rebecca Todd, she's going to film it good. You know, I'm sure everyone's going to film it, but you know, I have my way that I want to film it too, so I can have it on our page. Anyways, you guys you went on a road trip without me. Fine, fine. I'm wearing the Monster Michael Todd t-shirt, even. Anyways, here's the thing. Is it a publicity stunt? They want content. Here's the thing. Michael Todd's got to be so confident because Travis Bagent has obviously had his energies elsewhere. Until we see Travis actually arm wrestle, we won't know what level he's at. Michael Todd on his stream called him the water boy. Thought that was funny. And Travis has said on our show, hey man, I'm fine with that. I want to be, he's clearly seeing what happens when the channels explode and he wants to be there. So Travis is saying, okay, I'm willing to take a loss. Travis, I'm not 100% sure because we haven't even talked about it. What you saw on the show is exactly what I found out when you found out. But Travis must be saying, hey, I'll take the loss to grow, to get my exposure out there. And I'm thinking that's perfectly fine. And that's amazing for all of us because I need Travis. I think it'd be better for arm wrestling if Travis gets whooped up, beat up, spit out, bloodied. Everything that happens to me, you guys think Barry Bourne is going to be in my ass? I want nothing more than Travis Bagent to get embarrassed on the biggest stage possible so he could go home if he hasn't begun training seriously like we know he can, so he could go home and start training because everyone knows Travis is great for arm wrestling. I love Travis in front of camera. I think he's awesome. As you know, we do the show together. But yeah, just like you guys, I want to see him on the table. And I think the greatest, fastest, just like I think I don't care about views. Don't sub to my channel, become a Patreon member because I now believe I will accomplish more with a larger Patreon than anything else. So that's all I'm focused on. Gas money, put it in. Travis Bagent, whatever visions he would like, being a beast arm wrestler again and, you know, shutting people up, losing would be the bestest way to fire him up, I think. So that's my opinion because then, so let's say Travis gets embarrassed, right? He loses, crushed, whatever. It'll be good for exposure, but it will also open the door for like a rematch. So he'll go home, he'll come on the show, he'd be like, yeah, I got embarrassed, but we got 1,000 subscribers out of it. And if it took 4 months to get 1,000 subscribers last time, now we got 1,000 subscribers in a weekend. He'll be like, okay, that was worth it. So that's my take. Yo, Gary, remember the name. What, Julian, we know you. Uncle John, I want my ARMTV. I don't know if you guys know this, but Tuesday nights, Uncle John has been hosting our Tuesday night show. And thanks to the community for super chatting it up. And I'm going really slow on the questions. So keep asking your questions. I'll keep going over them. Oh, but I am on Bub's time. Oh no. He's awake. What? Why is that dude awake? I gotta go get my kid. I'll be right back. Hold it. Anyways, Uncle John, I'm gonna have to speed it up. Hey guys, this is Bubs. You know Bubby, Odin, Xavier, Roberts. Uncle John crushed it with super chats Tuesday night. I still got to pay the man. He made like $300. Desperation Pinocchio has really made its rounds. That's a great name. I'd like to see it happen. ROTN. Well, we're doing it. Waxahachie, bro. Digging the shirt, Gary Monster Mike Todd. Supporting NBK. We have paid out 17,000 just 2 years running NBK events. Just wait till next year. Congrats to you, sir. You're crushing it up there. We're playing a little catch up here, and hope to do the same. Little Bubs comes first always. As you see, he's right here. So what you're saying, Gary, is Travis is running your life. Eric, what do you mean? Did I say that? Travis running my life? Running or ruin? Running. I wouldn't say that. I don't know what you mean by that. Did you bring this up yesterday? I texted him last night. I said change it, but he had already made a flyer for Friday night. So I'm disappointed. I'll be honest. Junior Crow, $5 super chat. Any chance of nudging Saul Ingram for Superstar Showdown 3 up in his Chehalis, Washington? I don't know if you guys know, we had the tree faller Daniel. He's up in Chehalis and he's got inspired. He wants to do some more cool things. I think he should reach out to Saul. Saul was doing cool stuff back then, but I really don't know what Saul has been up to lately. So MBK, I'm already doing it. Gary, what are you already doing? Giving away money? Yeah, you're doing it. I mean, I want to do it too. So you keep doing you, I keep doing me, and we'll blow this shit up at the same time. Take your wife with you. I thought about it, but putting my kid in the car for 14 hours is a tough one. Roger, you going to be at PRS tomorrow? PRS. Oh, that's the Friday night? Yeah. Oh, you guys suck. Friday night without me. It's horrible. I think the water boy is going. Wait a minute. It's just totally skipped ahead. I was totally behind. Okay. Okay. Here. Road trip. I bought a van in 2008 for exactly that. I'm now because I'm behind and I'm not sure what you're responding to what I said. Oh, for road tripping, I was being metaphorical in my in my road trip, but yeah, and the wife and I we've discussed getting a trailer and everything, but she's not going to do it. She can only spend a couple weeks in a trailer at a time. I was thinking about like moving into it full time again because I love the RV life. Roger, 9:45. That's the same time I get in, and I have a rental car if you need one. I should have. I know you responded to me on Facebook. I'm sorry about that. Jaxby, sup, Gary, chat, troll army. Yo, bitches. What's I'm supposed to not. I didn't say that. You didn't hear that, bubbies. I don't really feel like B is a bad word. Grandpa's about to cut to cheese with the windows up. I've been traveling for the last 3 years doing exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. I don't mean to diss you. I just, I'm not going to sit at home while you're having an amazing road trip and you have all the boys in the car and you're crushing it. And I'm just like, I want to do it too. I want to take my own road trip. And, we might like different states. You want to go down to the Rockies. I might want to head over to the Mississippi. The more of us road tripping, the better. Russian Nationals haven't started yet. Is Devin Stronger or Travis? Devin Stronger or Travis in their prime? I mean, I've watched the same videos you guys have. I mean, I've seen Devin beat Travis. I've seen Travis beat Devin. So I think they both had their moments and may not have been at the exact same time. But because I love them both, I just want to see great arm wrestling. That's what I always hope for. I don't necessarily care who wins. I want to see amazing arm wrestling. Big D's Silver Bullet, bless you. Grandpa Dale, all day, pick him up, put him down. Travis is a better puller than Devin in their prime. Okay. Grant, or you could rodeo with the bull. Goku, Superman. Gary, you better ride a bull in Texas or you ain't an arm wrestler. I have video of me trying to ride a mechanical bull. I believe it's on my YouTube channel from years ago. You have to click to the old one. Alex 1750 indeed. Travis has a big winning record over Quacker. Who's Quacker? Alex, sorry you're not gonna be in Texas. That's a bummer. I was looking forward to like breaking bread with you and meeting you. Congrats on everything you've done as well. Goku doesn't even have to go. Okay. Looking for questions. Looking for questions. Will there be a normal tournament before the ROTN? We compromised that the ROTN format would be only the top 8. So we don't know how many people. Here's the thing with the ROTN format. Again, as we continue on this journey, you know, I'm completely open to discovering what works or what doesn't work. But I kind of envision that there's a cap. Like the guy who, let's say heaviest to lightest, the heaviest guy is, let's say he's the dominant one, and he starts going through matches. What I want to see is the endurance element start to take over. And I want my winner to be the more endurance guy, not necessarily the guy that can crush 2 people. So let's say he goes through some matches, then he takes a loss and he goes to the end of the line. If there's too many guys in the class, 50 guys, and you were to do that format, and the dominant guy, he would have a lot of rest time to like recoup. I don't necessarily want him to have a lot of rest time. I kind of want it to keep going around. To get through rounds. So I envision kind of like 18 would be the max. Travis said on a regular standard bracket, it'd be your sweet 16, what he calls it. So if I'm doing tournaments with Travis, he's kind of the opinion that we do the double elimination to get down to the top 8. So then you have a top 4 and a bottom 4. And that means your kind of your best 8 guys theoretically would be in that format. I initially thought, well, I'd want to take the class. Let's say we had 32 guys in a class. Instead of having them do the format, I wanted to break it in half and have 16 and 16 go down to 4, and then so if you had a weight class, you'd have the 32 guys. You'd have the top heavy and the bottom heavy and bring them down. But I guess everyone's telling me it would take too long to run that tournament. So this is like a compromise where you're doing the double elimination. My thinking, what I want to do in the future, like when I get this jar to $1,000, I'm going to call up. I want to go to the Northeast. So I'm going to call up Paul Lynn, and I'm going to say, Paul Lynn and James, I want to do a big practice, and I want to give away $1,000 to an event, and it's just going to be a massive ROTN format. You know, will it be something? I wanted to go in there and not have to deal with brackets. For me, it's just so easy to be like, what do you weigh? You're at the top. What do you weigh? You're at the bottom. If I had 2,000, then I would do like over 200 and under 200, and then do 2 of them. If I had 3,000, I'd do over 200, under 200 pounds, and then get down to the top 4, and then top 4 under 200, and pay to the winner of that, pay to the winner over 200, and then do the top 4 to do like a final. If I had 3,000. So the more prize money we get, the more cool shit we get just for content. So that's the goal. I want to avoid using brackets. I want to be able to come in. If I had $20,000, I want to be able to say, I don't want to deal with official tournaments. I'm be like, we're going to Central Park. I'm bringing a table and I'm giving away $20,000, and the police might chase us away. Like, that's the content I'm looking for. Like, Wall wants big monitors with big fancy television broadcasters. I want to go to a park without a permit and try to give away $20,000 and get kicked out and have to find another park and just freaking release that content. That's what I think is cool. I want to do shit like that. Underground shit. Okay. Gary, who's the coolest arm wrestler you have ever hung out with over the years? Tell us a great story from being on the road. Um, I, it's hard not to pick Todd Hutchins. I just love listening to Todd Hutchins talk, and when I ever interview him, I end up with hours and hours of footage because I just love listening to the guy talk. One time we went to Todd Hutchins' story. He took me fishing. We had so much fun. Met his family. Uh, but I've got a lot of cool stories. Who's my coolest arm wrestler? Hung out with Travis a lot. I mean, I like. We've already gone over that history. Coolest. Michael Celiaris was in Michael Celiaris, Brent Rockers, hung out with all these guys. I've spent so many, like back in the day when I was promoting arm wrestling. So I had 500 members, right? 500 members funded air travel, hotel, and my income, paid rent, put food on my table. But because it wasn't 500 was just enough to cover the basics. So in order to make more money so I could promote more arm wrestling, I would try not to spend money on hotels. In fact, I used to sleep in my rental car. If you want the coolest story is Manchester 2008. I didn't have a hotel room, but I was embarrassed to tell people. So that footage when you're watching with Travis and Devin, I was sleeping in my rental car. And I was driving around Manchester looking for a hotspot so I could steal internet to upload those videos to my my website. Uh, my crazy stories don't really involve. They mostly involve the things I did to get videos posted on the internet. The craziest story, went to Japan. Everyone went to Disneyland. Arm wrestler trying to flirt with my wife, and I find out my wife thinks he's cute, and there was almost a breakup over that shit. That was a little bit crazy at the time. While I'm trying to upload videos, arm wrestlers hitting on the misses. It's like, come on, bro, come on. Anyways, nothing happened. It was just a little flirtation. Anyways, man, it's hard to pick the coolest arm wrestlers. I was in the Army for 10 years, Gary. I feel you on the running. Ermies. Oh, man, I'm really behind. This was the wackiest video ever, though. I don't know which one we're talking about. My kid is being awesome. Whose reviews do you watch? Man, I just Pradeep, Arm Wrestling News, I told him, listen, in the last couple weeks, I've relied a lot on Uncle John to bail me out because I've been out. I'm really behind. I was watching Devin. I was watching Ryan. I was watching Michael Todd. I was watching Larry Wheel stuff, and I'm really falling behind. It's hard to edit, do all my research. So I put out as a joke, I was like, oh, my first employee is going to be pay someone to watch the videos. Oh, whose reviews? Are you talking about the movie review? Oh, yeah, movie reviews. I like Chris Stuckman. I was just watching Kevin Smith last night on the Justice League. So we were back on the movies. I'm really behind. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Dark Side, arm wrestling movie. Is there any way to get someone that is involved in the Patreon or someone to get content Friday between? You're going to get content from that night. I wish I had the content, but I won't be there. Anyways, if I had some power, I would wheel those guys to switch it to Saturday. I will start training as one of your executive producers to arm wrestle at your first Patreon arm wrestling event. Thank you very much, sir. Go sign up for Patreon because honestly, that's my focus. I need financing. Back in back in the day when I had memberships, cash came in, I bought plane tickets, went to events. Trying to rely on ad revenue where YouTube takes 1 month. YouTube takes 1 month to pay out. It's friggin' bananas. Back when I had subscriptions, Netflix model, you signed up, cash in hand. It was a lot easier to do stuff. So I'm focused on Patreon. When I first launched ARMTV, I had 300 signups, 300 signups in a matter of like 2 weeks at $6 a month. So you guys are behind. We're only at 9 on Patreon. So that's my focus. We need financing. We need gas money to get where we're going. And we're going to do cool shit. Baby Bubby, I need you play with my glasses. They are going to do it left-handed or right. I don't know. Travis was thin on the details. Oh, yeah. If you guys haven't smashed the like button, smash the like button. Looking for questions. Oh, Bubby. What can I give? Oh, Western Survivor, beef jerky. Thank you very much. Neil Pickup. You did not know that? Yeah. I didn't want to tell people that I mean, it was the easiest way for me to save money. In fact, to get a rental car, when I was getting the rental car in London, they wanted to put a $2,000 deposit. They wanted me to put a $2,000 deposit on my credit card, which I did not have. I had to call a family and borrow the $2,000 to get it on my credit card. I was literally staying at the car rental place for far longer because I had to get the $2,000 on my balance, and I had to call and get the payment to be processed. Who are your favorite top 5 weirdo cameramen? I mean, listen, as a producer, I'm happy everyone is busting ass. I mean, I've watched Brad Cook stuff. He's very talented and he knows way more about like cameras and stuff. I'm more into just the storytelling. I'm pretty good at editing, but I literally don't know how to use all the settings on my camera, and terrible at color correction. I think a lot of people are probably, you know, I don't. I want everyone to succeed. Neil Pickup, thank you for being in the chat, dude. We would have sorted something out. It's embarrassing, you know. I don't want to tell people like, hey, dude, I'm living in the car so I can produce arm wrestling content. It's like I didn't tell anyone. The last tournament I filmed in Colorado, and I don't even think I posted the videos. The last tournament, Corey Miller, I rented a pickup truck from the car rental station. I went to Goodwill and I bought an old sleeping bag and a used pillow, and I slept in the pickup truck for 2 nights, staring out into the stars. And then I took the sleeping stuff and I donated it back to the Goodwill because that was cheaper than paying for a hotel. That's what I did to get arm wrestling content, man. Bam. What's your favorite Marvel character? I like Iron Man. I think Iron Man. He's awesome. Am I caught up? Holy shit, I'm caught up. Okay, bam, I'm caught up. I can't believe my kid hung out for all this time. So anyways, guys, do you have any more questions? I'm all caught up. I kind of rushed. I was panicked. I didn't know how behind I was. Anyways, MBK, Joseph, I'm not. I kind of got the vibe that you were offended by what I said. I didn't mean no offending. It's just like okay, here's an example. You want to be world champion. There's someone else. You want to be world champion arm wrestler. By me saying I want to be world champion arm wrestler, you shouldn't be offended. That's my goal, to be world champion arm wrestler. You are doing cool stuff with the NBK, crushing it. Last 3 years, crushing it. I mean, just because I want to crush it, don't feel bad. I just think I feel like I got a great plan, uh, and I'm excited to. And because everyone else is doing their thing, I want to try something different. That's why I'm trying a different format. Like I'm going. I mean, so CrossFit CrossFit doesn't have weight classes. They're like the CrossFit games. They pay out. They pay the most to the first. I it's I'm putting up the videos. I'm running all the analytics. Nobody's watching the amateurs. No one's matched the other stuff. So for me to like try to accomplish my goal, I'm gonna focus on what is gonna get us to the destination quicker. So when I get prize money, it's gonna go towards it's gonna go towards the best. Uh, Hearing those stories helps explain why you get so pissed when people say you're in it for the money. What money would you get even if you were in it with the money? So dumb. Yeah, I mean, I, here's the thing. Bubby, listen. When it comes to money, there's one thing you must know. I am a paycheck to paycheck kind of guy. I always have been. My wife she's responsible for money, but we have 100% separate finances because I'm not trusted. When I met her, I owed $50,000 in back taxes. Like I am a financial mess. All that money I gave away, the ROTN, when I was trying to pump up the ROTN, the 20 grand, I was giving away 500. I cash advanced it on I cash advanced it. I went into the back end, so ARMTV can process credit cards. I went into ARMTV and I processed. It's because you pay more interest rate with cash advancing. I put a manual thing and I took out $500, paying credit card fees to give away as prize money. It's like, dude, it's not smart stuff. But anyways, when it comes to money philosophy, for me, what I've been ingrained with, because I was literally like, I was, grew up kind of poor. I mean, not, we had like not no TV poor, but, roughly poor. There's three things when it comes to money. The bank account. Is there a little bit extra after the bills are paid? Is there nothing extra, so completely break even? Or are you overdrawn? Three scenarios that I've dealt with for my entire financial life. Do I have extra money? Or do I have nothing extra? Or have I overdrawn the account where Wells Fargo's charging me $35 per freaking charge that went through? And one time I rang up like some gum at the Arco and they charged me $35 because something else had went through and overdrawn my account. So when you say I'm in this to make money, my entire purpose for money is to at least have a little something extra, not be completely dead broke, because I understand that someone has to retire, but not to be overdrawn. That's like the goal. Don't overdraw that shit. Like that's the goal. Okay. So when you say like I'm in it to make rich, if one day I like have so much extra that like I don't know what to do with it and I no longer am in that scenario, I will promise you one thing. I will have worked for it. I will have earned it. So I was trying to think of like an analogy with this. And so people, I was thinking, I'm watching this American Idol, right? I haven't watched American Idol for years, but uh these guys are talking about going to Hollywood, and some people, the contestants, moved to Hollywood so they could break it big. And it's like, do you, when somebody packs up all their shit and they think they have some talent and they go to Hollywood and they're struggling to get by and they're waking up at the crack of dawn uh, to go, audition for all these breaks, and how tough it is. And it's like, do you say to the person, oh, you just want to go to Hollywood so you could become Tom Cruise because you want to be like a movie star? Listen, when you're in it, when you've packed all your shit and you've told all your family you're going to Hollywood, and now you get there and you're auditioning after auditioning after auditioning, you are just trying to get a job, bro. You are just trying to get a gig. You do not hate on that person. You feel bad for that person because they're waiting tables. They have 500 auditions. They're just trying to get a gig. You don't say that, but you're just trying to become Tom Cruise. They're just trying to work because they've sacrificed everything to become the person you hate on in Hollywood. The dick, the greedy person, the person you should be mad at is the guy who is 8 seasons into a television show and winning Grammys and clearly is doing something amazing. And they're like, nah, but I want to be Tom Cruise. I'm going to go into the movies and this isn't good enough. Those are the guys that's like, you're like, that's a little douchey. You're making money. You're successful. And now you're like getting greedy. You're quitting the good gig. It's like, when it comes to money, dude, I'm just trying to, I want to prove to the missus like this is worth the time and energy. The last thing I want to happen, and I don't know if it could happen, but for my wife to say, yo, get off that live stream and go get a job, dude. Go get a freaking corporate job. Go make corporate videos. Go film weddings. Do I want to make money filming weddings, or would I rather make money filming arm wrestling? It's like, it's a no brainer, right? It's like this, being able to do something cool for a sport. Someday this money will go towards an arm wrestler who has trained hard. It's like, that's awesome, right? That's, anyways, I don't get it. I don't get it. Okay. I missed some good questions here, so I'm coming back. Okay. Neil, I know I did a lot of things behind the scenes that, like, yeah, maybe I should have told people, but it's like, I don't know. What's your favorite one? I already did that one. Remember, Travis said that he would lose the schoolboy on his channel. Exactly. My therapist when I was in the Army was Dickie Spiroff. He introduced me to the sport. What's your opinion on Hermes? I'm embarrassed to say I'm not sure who Dickie Spiroff is. Do you have any past footage of Michael versus Trent? Come on, man. You're not watching the channel. I post a lot of old stuff of Travis and Michael, specifically 2004 Unified Nationals. Is there going to be an amateur or novice class in Waxahachie? Keeping it simple. No. I'm sorry. My bad. Oh, I'm sorry. So the ROTN class, the people who fall out, who don't make the final 8 in the ROTN, will be reseeded and will run a double elimination bracket. Yes, there is like a trophy class, novice class. Sorry about that. So if you don't make it into the ROTN, so your $100 gets you the seminar, it gets you into the ROTN double elimination down to the top 8. And if you don't get that, you get reseeded back into the amateur class to arm wrestle again, double elimination, I believe. I feel like that's a really good value to get to meet all the legends, stars, and plenty of arm wrestling. Where's Corey Miller now? Corey's one of the guys I feel like I should reach out to. We were good friends back in the day. I haven't talked to him in a while, so I'm not 100% sure what he's up to. Hearing those stories helps explain why you get so pissed when people say, "Oh, I think I already read that." Yeah, I mean, it's just like, so this guy on Reddit who called me like Seamus, like he knew my sponsor, he knew all my drama with Alex, he knew everything, he knew all these details about me, and I'm like, if you know every single detail about me, then man, I'm just trying to do cool shit, justify the with the misses, and it's like, dude, I could, I mean, it's not rocket science. I've been 100% honest. Uncle John, let's road trip. Yes, when you say who is the coolest arm wrestler right now, Uncle John is my new favorite cool guy that I can't wait to hang out with. Gary, you are always welcome to stay with us. Oh, I didn't really finish that back in the day. So most of the time I did call people. I did I had three options when I was traveling. Uh, I bummed a room off somebody, so I'd fly to the tournament. I always needed like gear, so I could not be without a rental car. So rental car was the primary important, and I can sleep in a rental car. But I'd show up in my rental car, I'd meet everyone. At some point, someone would be like, "Oh, I have an extra bed," and I'd be like, "Oh, I'd bum their bed." Or when I went to a smaller tournament, like Luke Pulcher put up a tournament one time, and he's like, "Hey, you stay with me," and it's like they offered the couch. So I had like these three options: couch, someone's room, or default if I had nothing else, slept in my rental car. And BK, I understand your vision of doing something different. That is exactly what I'm doing with 100% cash payouts, custom handmade awards, and putting my own money in. Awesome. Everyone go subscribe to Joseph. I believe it's it's not that I want to do something different for the sake of doing something different. It's that so I went the LA Fit Expo in 2015 or 16. I had been away from the sport for like 3 or 4 years. And I went, and it was like the exact same thing, exact same people winning. It was Chris Chandler, Alan Fisher, Luke Kent. I was like, well, I didn't miss anything. I was like, what's going on? So, anyways, that kind of was like, I want to see someone different win. Like, where's the young people who are coming up? I love the legends, but to me, it's something really weird when there's no one replacing these legends. The fact that they can still like so many guys have coming back into the sport, and because they've already built that arm up and done, that's like you can come right in and be top five competitive. That seems a little. Where's the young people crushing it? So, anyways, that's what I was like. Okay, if I'm going to come back into the sport of arm wrestling, clearly the audience, the arm wrestling pool needs to be grown. Everyone else is putting on the tournaments, super matches. Everyone's doing their thing. So if I'm going to do something, it needs to be different. Otherwise, I'm just taking pie away from Brad Cook. We were both in the Midwest area, and it's like I don't want to take Brad Cook's slice of pie. So I'm going to cook my own pie. It's not about being different because what you're doing isn't working or whatever. It's like, I mean, I do think like, for 50 years or whatever, people have been trying to blow up the sport of arm wrestling. And it's like, what I'm trying now, I just feel is a more sustainable long-term model because like with the Patreon, I just think, okay, here's my little example. If you are, there's a video out there, YouTube, how ancient bridges were built. And how they would build ancient bridges is they would stick these a million sticks in the ground that they were so close and so tight together, in a million of them, and they'd form like this barrier that they'd then put rocks on and then put the bridge on that. And these bridges have lasted thousands of years, like 1,000 years or more. And it's like, how do you sustainably grow the sport of arm wrestling? And it's like relying on, and I myself, like Don Fritchie, he sponsors $60,000, but then the recession hit. It was like, if one man has it gets hit by the economy, by doing the Patreon, the prize money with the Patreon, it's dispersing out the, like, if one person falls out, the whole ship won't go to hell. So that's the one thing I'm experimenting, not relying on one sponsor. But Joseph, homies, bros for life, keep doing what you're doing. What I'm doing is not a diss on you or anybody else. I just feel that if I'm going to do something new, I have to be cooking another pie. And everyone is cooking peach, so why not do strawberry? I've been awake since Uncle John's stream last night. I'm scared of Jerry because he will press me out of my comfort zone. May Sanchez sounds illegal. I'm not sure what I said. That is illegal. Gary Roberts equal. Oh, maybe my cash advances. Yeah, probably not. Gary Roberts equals the most honest man in arm wrestling. Dude, I got nothing to hide. There was one time in high school, I I tried to hook up with like three. I hooked up with like multiple friends, and I was lying about it. And it was like, dude, they all found out. They all got pissed at me. Lost my best friend over, and it's like, okay, you know, I'm just gonna be straightforward. I'm just gonna be honest. Like trying to hide shit, you just get. So I have no skeletons. I will talk about every skeleton that there ever was about me, and that's just the way it is. A baby Bubs. He's being so awesome. Neil, pickup. I don't get any argument as to why Gary should not be absolutely entitled to be in it for the money, if in fact he was. The lad worked hard. You know, here's the thing. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with being in it for the money. Just if things go south, if you're only in it for the money, then, and that's the reason you leave. But so I did leave arm wrestling. I left it because I had to get another job, and I was putting that job. Sevan Matosi, when he hired me for CrossFit, I was a contractor. The entire purpose of that relationship was he said, you could travel and make CrossFit videos and do ARMTV. It was entirely like I went down to Louisiana. I went to a wall tournament. I was there for CrossFit, but I went to a wall tournament. I wasn't filming because obviously I didn't have rights to film the wall event, but it was like Sevan's entire vision was you could do ARMTV and CrossFit. But YouTube and Facebook, it was eroding away my ability. I believed in the subscription model because cash in hand means you can do shit. And it was slowly eroding that way, and CrossFit was paying me pretty good money. And so I just ended up focusing my energies over there because, again, I had to pay bills. Everyone's got to pay bills. All of you are trying to pay bills, correct? You're all trying to pay bills. That's like the entire world right now. The reason they cut stimulus checks is the entire world is just trying to pay bills. And it's like, hey, man, if I'm a bad guy for trying to pay bills with arm wrestling, it's like, fine, be a bad guy. But you all know that your dream, if you could dream to do something you love and get paid for it, that's like the ultimate goal. It's everyone's goal. Do something you love and get paid for it. So when I got fired from CrossFit and I had to make corporate videos, and there was this guy, he put an ad on Craigslist. He worked for AT&T, and he was like, we're doing the same thing. We're traveling around the country and we're filming customers who are using hold that. Anyways, he was like, hey, this could be a cool opportunity for you. And so I started making AT&T corporate videos, and it was a horrible experience. I was editing and I turned the video into this guy, and he would criticize everything. And he was like, nah, bah, bah, da, 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 bah, and he would contradict himself on what like he wanted. And I'm like, do you remember our meeting when you told me you wanted A and I went and did A, and now you're mad at me for doing A because I should have done B? It's like, that is a nightmare, bro. It was a horrible experience. In fact, I've turned in the project. He cut me the check, and he never called me again. But to this day, I dream about like sending him a letter saying, "Bro, if you're ever going to work with someone again, like here's what you did wrong. You were not a good boss." Anyways, NBK, what happens what happens if I told you I plan to give away $15,000 a year of my own money to the pro class on top of all? I'm not sure, Joseph. Dude, Joseph, if you beat me and you give away more money than me, then awesome. Congratulations. Your success will be amazing. I hope you give away $1 million. I hope you give away all of it. Go for it. I'm not sure. Are you offended? I'm not sure what I'm saying, bro. I feel like you should call me up because I'm getting a feeling that you are being dissed by whatever I'm saying. So don't be dissed. I hope I pledge Gary Roberts. I hope NBK has double my subscribers for life. Like, fine. If I have 1 million subscribers, I hope you have 2 million, 3 million. I hope you have far more, give away way more money than me. I'm not trying to say, I don't know what's going on. He should always be trying to get money. I guess I'm dumb then. I don't know what should. Don't let any haters or it's hard not to get. I know. Get the little one a gift, Gary. I never do this, but what the hell? I'm a new armor. Clever. Cleave it to Diener. That's a fun name. $5 super chat. Hey, Bobby. Say yeah. Yeah. He's learning his words. Welcome, Cleve. Nice shirt. Thank you. I'm confused on your point. I'm just confused your point on your stuff compared to his. What does it matter? What do you to compare? Yeah. I'm not. All I have to say is, when are we still doing it big our way, and then everyone wants to join, and we'll have very little time. Joseph, no one in this chat is being a naysayer for Joseph Drelak, bro. What's going on? Why are you being weird, bro? I am not. I don't know what's going on. Did I miss something? Do you miss the North? Dude, I missed the Northeast. I messaged. I've been sending messages trying to get the Northeast board revived. So there's this investor website called Bigger Pockets. Yeah, I'm kind of like into following the stock market and real estate, and I don't have any money to invest or any. I mean, not me personally, but I like to follow that stuff as well, not just movies. And Bigger Pockets has a very successful old-fashioned board where all their members go. I gotta find Bubby something. What's that paper? I'm losing him. What about? Well, you want Western Survivor? You want Western Survivor? The Northeast board, like, so somebody was saying, hey, your information on your tournaments is very thin. You know, the Northeast board, it didn't matter the organization. There was a master calendar. I'm trying to figure out like how we get a master calendar back so all arm wrestling events can be posted, like not just ARMTV events, not just Travis, like NBK events, everyone's still a master list, because I'm really annoyed that I'm completely confused. Like, I feel like Facebook is just, it's like, I want to just go to a master list and see all the different events. One, helpful for scheduling, whatever. T Jones, $2. I would bring back the Northeast boards in one heartbeat. Drama, dude. The first thing I did when I saw drama on the Northeast board is I'd go to a tournament and I'd ask, Polar A about drama, and if his drama included, like, I used to do this. There's drama between a West Coast polar and an East Coast polar. I'd go to the tournament. I'd go to a tournament on the East Coast. I'd ask arm wrestler about said drama. And then I'd go to a tournament on the West Coast and okay, here's a perfect example, motherfuckers. Damn it. No, swear. Here's a perfect example, mother effers. Your response videos, right now, you're seeing all these response videos, live response. Devin does a video, then Ryan does a video, and someone else responds. Like RVJ does. I would do that traveling across the country before YouTube. I would interview, I don't know why, Jake Smith is popping into my mind. Jake Smith would get into it with some peeps. And I'd ask Jake Smith about his thoughts on some, and he'd be some sort of dramatic answer. He was always good for trash talking. Then whoever he mentioned, I would go to a tournament they were at, and I'd say, what do you think about what Jake said? And then they would say something back, and then I'd make the video putting it together. Man, I was doing that shit long before these response videos now, bro. Let me tell you, I've never shied away from the drama. The drama creates something to talk about. NBK. My channel is super old. It doesn't have the new super interviews. Turn. People say I'm not charismatic, likable. I've never once heard anybody say you're not charismatic or likable. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Honestly, I'm so confused right now. I have no idea what Joseph is talking about. We would have liked to see you come to Texas. You said you weren't coming to Texas because you were training for a super match. Is that still going on? Man, you should have been there. We would have had fun. Hang out again. I do this for the Polars, 100%. I mean, do I do this for the Polars 100%? Dude, I'm a person who believes in a business. Like, business serve a purpose. If you're delivering an amazing product and the customer loves it and is happy to pay for said product, and you love making the product, and it's like this perfect symbiotic relationship, then it's like, it doesn't have to be, I'm not Jesus out here just, it's like, I just want to make a living at arm wrestling, do cool shit, make cool stuff happen. I'm losing him. I don't know what, Joseph, I don't know what's going on. I feel like you've made up drama here. Cause I didn't mean to start no drama with you. I don't recall seeing anybody in the chat creating drama with you. Joe Woodland, $5 super chat. You've been there for us. Thank you very much. So just kind of my thoughts going forward, I would love to use the Patreon money to help fund events. Again, I want to do very little in production. Like my events, I want to keep simple. With Travis, he gets so big minded, but when I do something, I want to keep it like maybe at practices. I only care about one table. I don't want to deal with brackets. I just want to give away money and get cool content. And I'll use the ad revenue to try to, at some point the wife's going to be like, yo, where's like, you need to produce something or you're going to have to get a job. So ad revenue, super chats will fund that. The Patreon will fund the prize money. That's kind of the plan going forward. If the Patreon gets really cool, here's the thing. 500 of you got on board and signed up for our website before. So I have no reason why I can't have 500 Patreon, and 500 Patreon times, I don't even know the math. You do the math. That's a lot of prize money that I'd love to kick out. And again, just because I'm kicking out good prize money, don't be upset, Joe. I'm not trying to beat you. I'm just trying to do cool shit. I'm creating an arm wrestling empire. I had the vision since the beginning of this adventure in 2014. I have mad respect for you, bro. You're creating your own awards. I've been so lazy on creating t-shirts. You got your gear out there. Props to you. Congratulations. Your channel gets more views than me. You are awesome. You started Patreon. Why not also stream or Twitch? I'm still not sure what those things are. I know what Twitch is like. I'm still learning. Like Patreon, I wanted to start it months ago. 450K viewers are watching, just chatting right now. You won't get all of them, but at least give yourself a chance. I still have to learn about it. I'm not 100% sure how that works. Gary seems, yeah, I should have made one of you guys administrator, but now we're kind of too late. Come enjoy some of my pie. Joseph, I feel like you're high, bro. Are you smoking the token? Anyways, I want you to succeed. And if you're willing to share your pie, fine. Thank you. You can share my pie. Thank you, Gary. You need to come to Minnesota. Come enjoy some of my pie. Warm apple pie. Gary, read further. I just skipped. Sorry, guys. Joe, okay, back. You start Patreon. Thank you very much. Church of Arm Wrestling, Jimmy G. I'm about to put up that video. Actually, because you used some of the Terminator music, YouTube actually warned me, are you sure you want to post this? So I'm trying to research that it's not going to actually hurt me by posting, but I don't usually get a double warning. Like, are you sure you want to post this video? Got a question, Gary. How can there be so many bonds between CrossFit and arm wrestling? You, Savon, Travis, can you share your experiences with CrossFit? It's really a great story. I mean, so I don't know if you guys know, Pulling John, produced by Sevon Matosian. His very first arm wrestling tournament was on the same weekend that I went to my very first arm wrestling tournament. So he went to a tournament. It was a Bill Collins tournament in Northern California, Los Banos area. I went to a tournament in Southern California. He was trying to do find documentary material on you want to get down, Bubby? What do you want to do? He was trying to find documentary material on Armenian genocide, and he found Milkies. Here, the Milkies. He was trying to do on Armenian genocide, and he mistyped, and he found arm wrestling. He's like, well, that sounds interesting. So he went to the Los Banos event, met Bill Collins, Simon Barachoa, Luke Kent, and started asking about arm wrestling. And John Brzezink's name came up, and he's like, oh, that sounds interesting. So he just started to investigate arm wrestling. At the same time I met Harold Ryden, I started to investigate arm wrestling. Whereas ultimately, ARMTV was born, the concept of it, met Dave Devoto. Pulling John, the concept of Pulling John was born. It was like mirrored. And so for a few years, there was overlap where Sevon and myself, we would travel all over to all these tournaments. And at that time, it kind of was like, for me, it was like a competition. I saw Sevon, he posted a video of him at the AAA Nationals there was so much excitement. It was Travis Bagent, doing something crazy, yelling at the audience. And I was so jealous that I was not at that tournament, that I vowed then and there that I would never miss another tournament, another big tournament again. So it's kind of like, that's what fed my need to travel and get as much content as possible. The absolute jealousy of Sevon experiencing that and me missing it. So just over the course of a couple of years, every event, you start to meet people, hang out. Well, it was 2005 Ultimate Arm Wrestling, Las Vegas. It was an amazing event. I just posted the videos. Sevon and Bessie, both producers of Pulling John, we stayed in the bar all night long, just talking, just, bullshitting dreams about arm wrestling, just going crazy. And, we just developed a cool friendship. Anyways, Travis, over the course period, Travis and I bonded, Sevon and Travis bonded, it was like, we were friends. Anyways, when at some point, Sevon sent me an email and he said, "Hey man, I found this workout program where they update their daily workouts and they do it the same time every day." So he sent me to CrossFit's website and he said ARMTV should be posted every day like CrossFit. And I was like, I kind of don't work that way. I just edit, I share all the videos, and I really didn't want to get into putting them out every day because I was traveling and filming so much that I needed to post. I mean, there was times I posted 10 video. I'd go to a tournament on my greatest story, my greatest achievement is I think it's the 2008 Harley Pole. I filmed all day Saturday. I stayed up all night posting the videos from Saturday, uploaded them, all of them, the whole tournament, edited, encoded, multiple clips. Then I woke up Sunday, filmed all day Sunday, then went back to the hotel room, which was right above the tables, edited all night long. And I remember at that time, my ex-wife, she came with me. I remember getting on the airplane Monday morning to fly back. I closed my eyes the first time I slept since waking up Saturday morning. I didn't sleep for 2 straight days. And I did that because I knew I was going to another tournament. I wanted the footage all pushed out. Anyways, Sevon, he sent, I think this is the accurate portrayal. It may not be 100%, but I remember he was doing the CrossFit workouts and he thought their videos weren't very good. And he sent them an email and he said, "Hey, your videos are terrible. I'd like to help you make better videos." And I don't know if his Coach Glassman or whoever invited him over. And next thing you know, he's making videos for CrossFit while he's trying to close up Pulling John, or maybe still filming Pulling John. Anyways, he got more and more involved over there because when he started, there was literally like maybe there might have been 10 employees, 5 affiliates or something like that. So he got heavily involved over there. CrossFit began exploding. And I was looking at CrossFit. I was like, holy shit, that's what happened to CrossFit is exactly what I would have liked to happen with arm wrestling. Well, at some point, Travis, Sevon's like got Travis a gig, and next thing you know, Travis is working with Sevon. And one time I went to the Mike Gould Classic. I'm hanging after the Mike Gould Classic in Canada, I think like 2010 or 11. And Sevon says, "Hey, every once in a while I get gigs I got to turn down. Would you like to take other work?" And he said that. I was like, "What? You'd consider doing that?" I was like, of course. And at that time he was talking about going to China. He's like, "There's a gig in China." He's like, "It wouldn't pay anything, but you'd get free travel to China and get to travel the country for a little bit." And I was like, "Dude, I'll take it." Anyways, that never happened. And then Travis used to tell me, he used to joke, you could get a job with Sevon, but you can never work for CrossFit because you're too fat. So Travis would tell me that my opportunities of working with Sevon were hindered because I was overweight. And so when arm wrestling started to go downhill, when our membership started to drop, and I suddenly was not able to pay rent anymore or buy plane tickets to go to events, I was like, okay, I got to do something else. And Sevon popped in my head as like the only other opportunity. CrossFit at that time had exploded, but I said, I don't want to call Sevon because I'm fat. And so I think I sent Sevon an email. It was my 20-year high school reunion, and I didn't want to go back and see old girlfriends because it was overweight. So I started to run, and I think I lost like 5 or 7 pounds. And I was like, oh snap, I'm doing good. Maybe if I continue to lose more weight, then I call Sevon and tell him I've lost weight, and then maybe he could give me a couple of video gigs. Well, Sevon, I sent him an email. He's like, "That's stupid. Why would you, if you want to do CrossFit videos, you got to do CrossFit." So he's like, "How about this? I'll put you in a gym, pay for your membership, and you just got to let me film it, and we'll do a story, and we'll call it Killing the Fat Man or something like that." I think I'm not sure how anyways, I said, "Oh, I'll do that in a heartbeat." Anyways, he flew down to California, put me in the gym, and he started filming this documentary. It's called Killing the Fat Man. It's on YouTube. It's done really well. It's awesome. I still get emails from people today saying they're starting CrossFit because of watching that documentary. Anyways, one of the coolest stories about that is during that filming, it was 2011. I wanted to go to 2 tournaments on the East Coast, and I was concerned that I wouldn't be able to go to the gym 5 days a week like Sevan asked me to. And he said, and I told him, I said, what I would normally do is I'd fly to the East Coast, film the one tournament, then stay there for the week and then film the other tournament because I don't have the money to buy 2 plane tickets. And he reached into his pocket and he gave me like $300, maybe like $400 to buy another plane ticket because he's like, I don't want you to get sidetracked from uh, from your training. So, anyways, that was a really cool story of Sevan just giving me $400 so I can keep training. But there was a point where Travis, myself, and Sevan, we were all working for CrossFit, and it was really cool. And ARMTV was the best job in the world. CrossFit was like the second best job in the world. Anyways, I no longer work for CrossFit, and things have changed. And anyways, that's the story. NBK, more stuff. You're losing me, bro. Not offended, man. I just feel like if a person isn't shouting from the rooftops, the arm wrestling community doesn't care. I mean, I disagree, dude. You're putting out good videos. They're getting views. You're getting more views than me. What are you talking about shouting from the rooftop? Rumor has it we're roommates. Yes, Jody Williams, you and I, roommates. No bubs, though. Church of Arm Wrestling. I'm looking for a roommate this weekend. Wax Hatchie. Get to meet Jimmy G. Get to see Jody. You need to read further down, Gary. LOL. Yo. Does anyone know of any arm wrestling clubs in Southern Ohio? Merle, Scott, get on arm bet. Dude, it doesn't take but 5 seconds to find an arm wrestling club. You meet one guy in the area, he'll tell you everything you need to know. Got to run, folks. Gary, are we setting up the cars in a circle like Lionheart movie? Listen, man, I got my gloves. I'm ready. I asked Barry what ounce gloves. He said 14 ounce. I don't care where it happens. If we're out in the parking lot, round up the cars, it'd probably be more exciting. Wherever. I don't care. Gary, you should take down the top letters you got going. The rest is very. You should take down the top letters. I don't know what that means. What top letters? Well, Gary is bored. Laugh my ass. Don't do that stuff. Polar magazine, posting comments. I'm not trying to blow up. Here's the thing with the live MB cases. I'm not trying to blow up the live streams. I was like, here's what initially happened. I was focusing all my energies on the old content, and I was like, the COVID. I mean, live is a great way to connect with current stuff, and I'm like, then that'd be a fun way to do. But Travis is it's really on Travis. The one calling me, he's like, I want to do a podcast. Let's do it. And so I was like, okay. And I blew him off for like 2 months. And now the live streams are just going crazy. Gary, read further. I feel like, okay, I'm not going to say that. Gary, have you ever thought about being a ref? You know, at practices, I've refed. I feel like I understand. I mean, I've been around the sport long enough that I know how to administer all the rules. And I've watched so much video that I know what to look for and stuff. But the actual ability to like control the wrists and get people straight and get a fair grip started, I'm not 100% sure I've got that down, but I've refed, not in an actual tournament. Arm wrestling Jesus. No, not arm wrestling Jesus. I hate social media. It is a disgusting time waster. Gary, there's no drama. Okay. I just feel like it got weird there in the chats for a second. We're up to, I didn't expect to get 70 people on here because just a little on me, but thank you very much. Like I said at the beginning stream, I'm looking for arm wrestling geeks who want to go on a road trip with me, want to help blow this thing up. If you could shoot on over the Patreon, sign up right now. I'm using 100% of Patreon money to just give away to arm wrestlers to try to create cool content. Okay, we're all caught up. I can't believe my kid has made it through this far. I'm not sure if you guys have been here from the beginning, but when I started going live, I initially thought that this is what I would do. I thought there was a loss of community. What I'd noticed that there was a fracturing, a disconnect. I think I missed, someone said Polar Magazine is posting all the tournaments. Awesome. Shoot me the link. So I just go polarmagazine.com, or is it the YouTube channel? Nano Cruise. So by doing these lives, connecting with my peeps, I hope 5 years from now, Hermes Desperini is still on board, helping us crush it. Shoot me another question. I got a few more minutes. As long as my bub is still hanging in here. Bubs is the star of the chat. Yeah, he's being awesome. His name's Odin Xavier. Right now we're having a little bit of drama. We took him to his 1-year appointment, and like the doctor's like, does he know his name? I'm like, Odin? Like we said Odin, and he opened his mouth, because when we say open, he opens his mouth. But because he responds to Bubs and not Odin, they like dinged us. Like, oh, he doesn't know his name. He's a little behind. I'm like, well, we call him Bubs. So it's a little weird exchange. It's like he knows his nickname. That's what matters, right? Loser to Lambo. G. Roberts, it's really great to have you back on the scene. A longtime fan from way back. Curtis, Clash shit, bro. I've been on your. Did you get your Lambo yet? I was on your YouTube channel. I wish you all the success in the world to get your Lambo, man. I don't. Did you? I don't. I never. I watched some of the videos. So you'd lost everything at one point, and then you were crawling back. Anyways, I hope you get there too. Listen, at the end of the day, the more. Okay, so the content thing. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to probably have some rules. Like when I start hosting tournaments, everyone's saying everyone should film. Like NBK, you're saying I can go to your tournament, I can film, and you film. It's like, does me going to your tournament and posting videos hurt your ability to grow your channel? If you say it doesn't hurt it, I'm not 100% in agreement of that. It's like, I don't yet necessarily, I'm still trying to discover this. If it turns out that there is no, like if I'm hosting big tournaments and everyone comes, films, and it does not hurt the ability to grow my channel, then I'll change my opinion. Jason Merlot, co-host Tuesday nights, ARMTV Talk. Gary, wait, did I miss? Gary, do you feel like you are all caught up to who the more current arm wrestlers are in the current world, or do you feel like you're still catching up? Oh man, I'm still catching up, brother. I'm still catching up. That's why, like, so part of the reason why Travis and I didn't do a podcast for the last few weeks is because I was traveling and I kind of missed my studio, the setup, and I really wasn't 100% excited about doing it on the road. But the reason we actually didn't do it, because I felt like there was so much going on, and I felt like I had to do homework. I was like, I need to study. I need to know what this, like, I'm not exactly sure what is happening. And then when I got to study, then I got to send Travis videos. I got to tell him, watch this part of this so you can have an opinion. I am still kind of behind, even on who's current. So to say like even Jason, if someone says, where does Jason rank right now in the world of arm wrestling? Man, I'm not 100% sure. Like, are you Like, are you top three? Are you top one? I know I can't exactly say it. Anyways, I'm embarrassed about that, but it's like, that's why I'm keeping it simple, man. I'm trying to host events. Who shows up, like, whoever. So for me going forward, hosting events, whoever shows up to my events, in my mind, they're going to be the world champion that day. That's how I'm going to treat them. You were awesome. You're supporting ARMTV. You are the champion of the day. You are the baddest man in arm wrestling. When I post that video, you were the baddest man in arm wrestling. That's how I'm going to like approach it. If somebody finds arm wrestling for the first time that day and clicks on my video, and whoever wins that day, they're going to think he's the god of the day. That's how I'm going to approach it, because there's so much going on, so many different events, so many people are doing their own thing. It's like I am still behind is my point. Gary, would you do a massive cycle if you thought you could compete at a high level? Dude, uh listen, I 100% would do a massive cycle just to document it and see what happens, because I'm interested behind the site. The I'm interested behind. So when someone says, "Oh, steroids is a problem," it's like, I don't understand. If like we're in a race and we're in a dirt bike race and like we're running little 250 cc's, and like you've snuck in like a huge, freaking Chevy Camaro engine into your dirt bike, and I'm racing against you, and it's like, I don't know the level of cheating that steroids is. So I know what I'm capable of if I work out. And I would be curious for documenting it, and I think it would get great views to help teach people like me who are really like know nothing. Like, I know how many push-ups I can do. I know how many pull-ups I can do. Completely natural. I would love to document what steroids does, not to go win anything particular, but so I could see how much gains it gives me. Like, Travis Bajent says, I could take all the steroids in the world and never be even close to anything. Like, I don't know if that's true or not. Is that true? I think that'd be a great documentary to figure out. That documentary starts out, Travis Baden says, Gary Roberts, you could take all the steroids in the world. You could take everything and you would never do anything. Then I would be like, okay, I'm going to take all these steroids and then I'm going to go to the nationals. Like, could I place at the nationals? Could I place at the Arnold's? I have no idea. In 6 months, 1 year, I think that would be a great documentary that people would watch on Netflix. Gary, before arm wrestling, what was your goals in life? What did you want to be, or was it always arm wrestling? So, when I grew up, um, I was one of those guys who wanted to make movies. I wanted to be like, I wanted to do special effects. In fact, when I joined the Marine Corps and I injured myself, my ex-wife at the time, her her cousin was in the movie business, in the special effects industry. And he, at the time, he's working on Murder, She Wrote, like gunshot wounds and stuff, but he'd done some cool stuff. Anyways, he said, "Oh, I could help get you in the industry." And so I went to so after I got out of the Marine Corps, I went to LA and I was working non-union movies. Like, the highlight of, there's this movie called Firefox. I think it was called Firefox, where like they're like a special elite airplane got stolen, and Clint Eastwood, they had to like go. I think it was it? I can't remember now. Anyways, there was a scene where like dirt was being trickled down over a camera, and it was like, I was part of the team that like did shit like that. Like, they're crawling through a tunnel and dirt is trickling down. But I was like working, like at that time, I was just like the slave boy. I was getting like a hose, and I was like, I met Christopher Reeve before he fell off his horse. There's a movie, if you Google Christopher Reeve plays a character in a wheelchair, where at the very end, he wants to murder his wife because she's cheating on him, but he had an injury and he was paralyzed as a character. And in the end, they're in a courtroom and they stab the knife into his leg because the police officer wants to prove, because he got off of murder and he wants to prove that he can feel pain. And they jab the knife into Christopher Reeve's leg and blood pours out. Like, I was part of the team that we helped hook up the little blood tube to a fake prosthetic leg in Christopher Reeve. So it's like I got to meet Christopher Reeve like right there. And anyways, I was just basically working for free trying to get in the industry. Anyways, uh, Larry Fiorito, he did the he did a bunch of John Grisham movies. He was like the boss of the guy who was getting me in the industry, and they were trying to get me my fire card, and it's a bunch of crazy stuff you got to go through to get in special effects. Anyways, this guy Larry Fiorito, he was like, him and another guy, they were sitting down with me and they're like, dude, you don't want to be in this industry. You're going to get divorced. It's horrible on families. And he's like, computers are taking over really our job. Like, one day we're going to be out of job. And they totally like talked me out of, which at the end of the day, yes, computers have taken over a lot, but you still have people still do real explosions. They still do bullet squibs. I could have had a great time in the industry if I would have stuck it out. But these guys made me scared to death that it was going to be hard to get a job. So they're like, go back to school for computers. So anyways, because I was in the Marine Corps and I was injured in the Marine Corps, I qualified for a program where all my school was funded. And I went to the counselor and I was like, I want to do special effects. And they basically said, the military does not pay for anything artistic. They're like, you have to it's got to be like a teacher, engineer, something that's got to be like a real skill. And I was like, well, that kind of sucks. Well, my secondary, I always thought like being a financial planner was cool. So they ended up putting me in for accounting. So I was going for accounting in school at the time. And during that time, I found some old baby videos on VHS. And I remembered when I was a skateboarder as a kid, I put camcorders together to try, and I tied them up to the VCR. I was a huge skateboarder, and I used to film my tricks, alling downstairs and doing slide rails. And I tried to make a music video by editing back and forth between camcorder and VCR. And it was very raw, crazy, like as a kid, but I never did anything again. Well, anyways, so I'm in school for accounting. I'm waiting tables. I have a small daughter, a couple years old. And I find out that computers are now digital and you can just import the videos directly into the computer. And I was like, what? Holy shit. You don't need to be like a big movie budget to do that. I was like, that's crazy. That's amazing. So I went and my dad gave me a hand-me-down camera, my stepdad. And I went and I bought, I told my wife, I said, hey, I'd like to start filming things, but I don't have a camera. So I put a camera on a credit card and, I started filming things. I got a wedding gig and I was trying to edit all my personal videos and waiting tables and going to school for accounting. Well, anyways, everyone said I was really good at editing. And at that time, it was still dial up. And I was like, well, how do I tell people I'm good at editing to like try to get side gigs? I was trying to make some side money as like an editor doing weddings and stuff. And so I wanted to put my videos on the internet, but there was no videos on the internet. It was only pictures. It was very difficult. So I was like a part of an early geek trying to figure out how to stream videos early, honestly, way early, like way before anyone you ever knew. Like I'm not saying I'm the first one to ever say stream, but I was part of a group of small people who would say stream videos before I promise, before any of you in the world ever knew what streaming was. That's what I was trying to work on. I was trying to figure out, I was trying to code my website. I learned HTML. I was HTML and trying to do everything so I could post my videos. Someone said, hey, I hear you're pretty good at shooting weddings. I sent them a link and they watched it. And so I was doing a bunch of lovey-dovey stuff. And when I went to an arm wrestling tournament, the first thing I saw was like, oh my God, this would be awesome to like AC/DC or something. And that's when I gave my business card to Harold riding. I saw him crush a guy that was twice as big as him. And I was like, oh, I'm going to edit this and put it on my website. So at that time, uh, I met Harold. He called me up. He's invited me over to his house for practice. And I showed him the video. And he said, he said two things. Arm wrestling is the largest underground sport in the world. And nobody puts arm wrestling videos on the internet. It's only pictures. And I was like, as a guy, so I was going to school, I was going to college, it was fully paid for, but I was disappointed because it was for accounting. I was going back to school because I wanted to be in special effects. I quit. I quit an actual, like, I was in training to be like a special effects technician. And I freaking quit that job. So here I am counting. I'm not loving. Can you imagine me, Gary Roberts, as a freaking accountant? So I was looking at this video thing as like a little way to make some side money as weddings. And I was waiting tables at an Italian restaurant. So anyways, when Harold told me about this thing, I got kind of excited. I was like, well, that's a unique opportunity. And he says the largest underground sport in the world. And so anyways, I was faced with this path. I was like, you have to find a new wedding client every weekend. And I thought to myself, well, what if the arm wrestlers were like the people getting married and I followed them? And I was like, then I wouldn't have to meet new people every weekend. I could follow the same people and develop a relationship. And of course, at that time, I mean, pornography is on the internet for free now, but that time, most people were paying. They would sign up to like a porn website, and I was like, well, if people are signing up to pay for porn, maybe they'd sign up to pay for arm wrestling. So I was like, the only way to fund that is is to have it like behind a paywall. So then I just did that. I created the website, put the paywall up. I went to film tournaments and I asked people to sign up. And I had 300 people sign up at $6 a month in 2004. Can you imagine that? I'm barely at 9 Patreon members. I had 300 within 2 weeks. That's how excited people were to see video of arm wrestling because no one had done it. They couldn't believe it. They were like, what? This is crazy. So anyways, it didn't take but a year for me trying to wait tables, trying to film arm wrestling, trying to go to school as an accountant. And it was like a year later, trying to go to the world championships, trying to study for finals. And I was like, I told my wife at the time, I said, I'm breaking, I'm cracking, I'm going to go insane. I said, I can't do all of it. Something's going to break. And I said, I feel really like in my heart, in my gut, I feel like this arm wrestling thing could pay off. And like, I'm having a good time. I'm meeting people. I'm able to put some food on the table. So I'm going to quit school. So I quit school. And then I was just waiting tables, filming arm wrestling. And then one time I got in a fight with my chef and I was like, you know what? I should have just gone full time. Anyways, it wasn't very long before I became a full-time videographer for arm wrestling. And that's the story. That's how I ended up here. Thank you, Hermes Desperini. Love, Odin. Valhalla awaits us all. Gary, do you feel like you're all? Oh, I already read that. 68. Thank you, Travis the water boy. Like I told you, I don't know if you come back. I think if Travis is proven to be the water boy, it would fire him up so he can go train because we all know that a trained Travis would be friggin' off the hook. Off topic. Did you know Google takes 45% of YouTube earnings? I thought they take 30%, but I'll have to research that. Patreon, getting one your own website would take 0. I know, but my own website has a lot of problems with it, and I need a programmer. And right now, Patreon, if you sign up for ARMTV, I've got to be able to deliver a good website, and right now I don't have a good website to deliver. Maybe the focus would change once I got the website up and running, but I'm still looking for someone to fix my Flash issue. Can you believe Odin? He's just chilling. My bubs, he's just chilling here. My son, my bubby. I love you, bubby. You love your dad? A sweet boy. Okay, how long have we been on? I think we're gonna call it a now. Can you do a kickflip? Benjamin, there's a video on my YouTube channel of, I think it took me 100 tries. You got to click to old videos. I put a video on my YouTube channel of me trying to do a kickflip. It took me like 100 tries in 2000 something, but I can still do it. I thought I would get back. I wanted, when I was trying to think, oh, I need to keep being physical. I went to, uh, I went to a skate park and I friggin' almost killed myself. Like, and this was like 15 years ago. And I was like, oh, dude, that's, I'm, I was the guy, I really did crazy shit. Like, I would jump. There was this one in Barcadero, San Francisco. You know, I jumped a gap. It was like a 20-foot gap. I had to like off this ledge. I had to skate as hard as I could. Then it was a 20-foot gap I had to fly through. It was like a 15-foot drop. And then I immediately had to drop off another like 15-foot ledge. And it, like, I almost broke so many things trying to do cool tricks. Benjamin, can you make a new ARMTV intro with you skating and you doing tricks? I have a horrible story. So when I was doing skateboarding videos, I had all my skate videos on one Betamax tape. And in the 90s, the tape broke and I got really sad and I thought that meant that it was gone forever and I threw the tape out. I didn't realize that I could fix the tape. So I actually threw away the evidence that I have of me skating. But I do have some photos on my Facebook of me hitting some rails. How far could be, just thank you guys. Good chatting with you, Joe. Okay, guys, hey, we're going to call it a day. I've got to go try to finish the video I was going to update on the YouTube today. Thank you for the support. We have $23.66 in chat revenue. Let's see. Did anyone sign up for my Patreon? Can you believe this? People are so used to video. There's so much video content out there that, like, the thought of having 500 Patreons is like, I mean, it's like, that would just be game-changingly amazing. I had 300 people sign up in 2 weeks. That's how excited they were about video. Never had it. It was like virgins discovering sex for the very first time. It was crazy. Alrighty. Thank you very much. Stacy Morgan, thanks for sponsoring my, stay tuned. $250 from Stacy Morgan. Okay, guys, we are ending the chat. Or ending the, did I forget any questions? Hermes Desperini. Man, these names are fun. Get an OnlyFans. I'm killing it. I don't want to see you naked, Daniel. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being good, Bubby.